Hey guys, Art 2, and we are still in week 2, and assignment 4, which is bending straight lines. So this is going to be kind of fun, except for it's a little bit, you got to think about it. You got to think about what you're doing here. You think right around it, as they say. So I'll show you what that means and what that little project is. And then we're going to talk about focal point, which you're going to do a drawing on that one too. So let's get right into it. So yeah, it's called curved lines too, but it's bending straight lines is what I've called it for years. So here's various patterns that you can do with the bending straight line project. Now here's the most simple one, would be this or these two here, and then you can actually elaborate on it and do one all the way around and make a pattern like this, or do an inverted one where the straight lines are here that you're going to feed off of, and then it makes that pattern. Actually, there's many patterns, as you can see, to do with this. Once you get your head around what you're doing, you can go there. Okay, so let's show the very basic one here. What you're doing is let's say you're going to do this one. I'll put a video up on this too. And you draw your two lines here faintly, and then you're going to make a mark maybe every half inch. So it's evenly spaced half-inch marks. What do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in the middle, they didn't really do these, but you would connect those as well. But basically, here's the same thing here. What you're doing now, you could do this various ways. You could make it longer spaces or the same sort of measurement on the space, or not. Here's one that's basically the same spacing where you make your mark. And then you're going to draw a line basically from the first mark out to the end up here. Then you take the next one and you go to the next mark down. The next one over here, the third one in, you're going to the second one down. Right? Is that right? Yeah. And then, see, I'm already getting screwed up. And then this mark, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're coming up to the fourth mark here. And on and on. Pretty soon, what it does is, because you're making these straight lines drawn to the marks, it makes a curved line here. So it's why it's called bending straight lines. Here's where your line is bent, because you created a bent line there. Okay. Now you could do something like this where it's a little more bent out, and then you're creating even a different shape. Now if you were to put these straight lines like this over here and then connect them, you would come up with one of these other patterns that we're showing. Actually, something like this, and then you put another one, and then there would be another section.
Can you help me, please?
Yeah. So anyway, here's one here that you could do as well. It's just going around in an actual cube, right?
Can you open and close the door for me, please?
And then I have other people walking in and out of here, so don't just ignore what they're saying. And then the same scenario, because you see where the lines connect, It's the first line in with the first line down, second line down, second line in, third line, fourth line, and back and forth until you reach this area where you have the last dot, and you're connecting to the last dot on that side too. And you do it on every side, you have this pattern now. Okay, that's basically what you're doing. I'll have a video on this as well. Okay, now this one's super cool too. Well, what they did was put the straight lines as a cross in the middle, and then just connected them that way. So from here to the furthest one up, the second one out to the second one down, third one out to the third one down, fourth one to the fourth one, fifth one to the fifth one. Pretty soon, is that right? Yeah, I think it's right. And then it ends up making those bent lines, we call it. Okay, so there's going to be a video on this too. You can just do the one, or you want to get more extensive about it, do 3 or 4. Okay, here's sort of the kind of a star shape. So they made a star shape with lines, and then they put their points, mark points down the lines. They were about a ½ inch apart from each other or so, and then they started to connect the lines. Right? And that's all it is. Okay, I mean, you can get really heavy with this thing and start doing stuff like that. You can get more out of this than you think. So I'll have a video on that. Check that out, and then go for it. If you have any questions, let me know. The video should really bring it all home because they're gonna go step by step. You're gonna need a ruler, by the way. Okay, so the homework is focal point. As you can see, you can probably get in the idea. Oh, focal point is something that draws your eye to it. So this white square here, that's drawing your eye to it. Because for one reason, it's white, and it's the only square. Everything else is a circle-ish pattern. Here's one that's drawing you down into this abyss, the cityscape. Here's one that's drawing to you because it's actually blue and circular in the middle, and everything else is a different sort of pattern. This one drawing you to the middle as well, because all these shapes sort of go into the middle, and they're drawing you into that. The eye, it's because it's blue and it's the only eye, and it's much different than any of the other subject matter. Okay, same with this. There's a white circle there and all the color areas. You can put color into this if you want. It works really well with having a focal point if you're going to have the focal point be the color area. But something like this still draws your eye to the middle of this circle and this square area over here. Kind of draws your eye in there because of the way these lead to it, these paths, and that it's circular right there. Now this, I don't see a focal point in here much at all. So there's your example of what isn't a focal point. Of course, this one would be because it's a triangle and everything else is a circle, and plus it's red. This can be a focal point too, like a vanishing point, this path going down to a place where it vanishes. And so you get some other ideas. Some are stronger ideas than others. Of course, this would be the focal point on this one. It's working with you to design something with patterns or shapes or just subject matter. Like the eye would be the focal point. Of course, the pupil way down in there is where your eye goes, typically. And there's another one. Okay, so I think you're getting the idea with the focal point. Some of these are not as good at focal point, but and this is like, well, where's that focal point? Maybe it's that. If you want me to guess where it is, I might have to ask. Or something like this is just just a butterfly could be the focal point on a white flower. Okay, so I think you're getting the idea with that. Get creative, get some ideas here. You can also go to Google. I go to Bing. You can go to Google and put that focal point drawings and see what their examples are. Okay, but have fun with that. It's a fun project. Both projects are. All right. So that was portrait for number 3. We talked about that. Look at the videos. Look at all the other videos supporting and demonstrating. And I'm going to put one up for this, but focal point, I'm going to leave that up to you. All right. We'll talk with you later. Talk with you next week.